Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are LA.
It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, Prime Ticket presents the Dodgers as they take on the New York Yankees. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Wednesday evening to you, wherever you may be. Dodgers and Yankees, always a big draw. Sellout last night, sellout tonight. For the Dodgers, Clayton Kershaw on the mound. He has a record of 10-6, as does Hiroki Kuroda of New York. The difference being Kershaw leads the league in earned run average, 1.9, and the opposition is hitting 185. Hiroki Kuroda certainly knows his way around Dodger Stadium. He was here for 4 years and managed to win 41 games. He has allowed only 2 earned runs in 26 innings in July. For the Dodgers, they've won 4 straight. They are 10-1 since the All-Star break, and they have posted 27 of the last 33 victories. They are, needless to say, flying high, 3.5 games in front of Arizona, who are playing a very tough Tampa Bay club. We'll get to the ball game, and we'll have a whole lot more coming up right after this. The Hyundai 100,000 Reasons event, now through July 31st. By AT&T UVerse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PIC-ATT. And by Jack in the Box. Go big at a Jack in the Box near you with Jack's new Big Stack Burger.
We are moments away from first pitch here at Dodger Stadium, and what a matchup. Another sellout, over 50,000 on hand to see the Yankees and the Dodgers. Dodgers need to win to keep that 3.5-game lead. Arizona with a comfortable lead in Tampa Bay in the 8th inning. Out here at center field alongside my partner, Steve Lyons, Patrick O'Neill. Hey, Steve, over the last 33 games, we've talked about the numbers in the pregame show, 27-6. I know the fans know how incredible it is, but I've never seen anything like it this run. Have you?
Yeah, I haven't. And, you know, there are very few fair-weather Dodger fans out there. Even when they were really scuffling, most of the fans were saying, yeah, just wait until we come back. It's going to make this year that much sweeter. So for you fans out there that are loving it right now, sit back and enjoy it. But this Dodger team cannot do that. They're playing at a historic level right now, but they have to keep the hammer down because they're still only 3.5 games up. You want to stretch that lead out.
Yeah, well, a chance to keep the lead in the division and close out July with an .800 winning percentage. Clayton Kershaw, a perfect guy to have on the hill in this situation.
Unbelievable. He goes so deep into games. He's basically a bullpen saver as soon as he hits the mound. He's brilliant on the mound pitching, and it's such a great opportunity for the East Coast bias people to see the best pitcher in baseball pitch. No one ever knows about Kershaw because, well, he's won a Cy Young. He was second last year, but bottom line is nobody cares about the West Coast. They have to care about it tonight.
Well, tonight, a chance to see the captain, Derek Jeter, and Mariano Rivera as the old guard meets the young stars in one Yasiel Puig. Should be a good one. Vin has the call next.
You, wherever you may be. Welcome to Dodger Stadium. Game 2, the final game of the brief 2-game series between the Dodgers and the Yankees. The Dodgers winning another thriller last night, 3-2. And tonight, it will be Clayton Kershaw going against the former Dodger right-hander, Hiroki Kuroda. Another sellout crowd, understandably, the way the Dodgers have been playing. Their numbers again, they are 19-5 in the month of July. They have won 4 straight. They have won 10 while losing only 1 following the All-Star game. And for good measure, they have won 27 of 33. So the crowd comes to see it, and most of the time they're in for a thrill. Joe Girardi, the veteran catcher who played here with several ball clubs. Joe originally was drafted by the Cubs, so he came with Chicago, then with the Colorado Rockies, then he played with the Yankees, finished up his career with the Cubs, and finally St. Louis. One thing about Joe, he got a base hit in his first at-bat in the big leagues, opening day 1989. So here's his lineup card. Brett Gardner leads off in center field. Derek Jeter at short, and Robinson Cano at second base. Alfonso Soriano in left field, Vernon Wells in right field instead of Suzuki, and then you have Brent Lillibridge at first base. Jason Nix at third, Chris Stewart behind the plate, and old friend Hiroki Kuroda on the hill. On the mound for the Dodgers, Clayton Kershaw. 2 years ago, he pitched against the Yankees, did not have a decision. Going up against the American League, he is 5-3 in his career. He has the division and major league leading ERA 1.9. The opposition is hitting a blistering 185 against him, and he comes in after 6 brilliant starts with an earned run average of 1.7. But it's the old story. What have you done for me lately? And we'll see about how the Yankees test him with Gardner, Jeter, and Cano. We can also tell you Arizona pounding Tampa Bay 6-0 in the 9th inning. So that adds a little pressure as the Dodgers trying to hold on to a 3.5 game lead. Kershaw ready and deals. Fastball is outside, ball 1, 1-0. Gardner out of Holly Hill, South Carolina. Left-hand batter checks up on a swing, pays a strike for the privilege. 1 ball and 1 strike to Brett Gardner, hitting .281. A lot of extra bases, 24 doubles, 5 triples, and he is a rabbit. He has stolen 17. Swings, doesn't get the next one. So Kershaw busily engaged, deep in thought. Gardner, who has stolen as many as 49 bases, so it's a pretty good idea to keep him off the bases. And the 1-2 pitch on the way, breaking ball down and away, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. C.B. Buckner is the plate umpire, charged with the responsibility of balls and strikes. C.B. in his 15th year. He was born in Jamaica in the West Indies. The 2-2 pitch on the way, fouled off. So 2-2 as we start on a lovely evening. The temperature is 67 degrees. So for the moment at least, these days have been beautiful and the evenings even better. Unusual in that we're not staggered by the heat and everybody enjoying every minute of it here in Southern California. 2-2 pitch, fastball low, ball 3. So Clayton had him set up for that pitch and got it too low. The Yankees will leave here with Derek Jeter, who's in the starting lineup and standing in the on-deck circle. They'll head to San Diego. 3-2 pitch on the way, swung on and missed, and that'll do it for Gardner. 1 away. When this game is finished for the Dodgers, they will leave and go to Chicago. They'll open up a 4-game series with the Cubs, followed by 4 with St. Louis. One of the great Yankees, a Yankee whose name will certainly stand the test of time, Derek Jeter coming up to the plate. Jeter hitting .250, 3,307 career hits, 10 most in Major League history. So Jeter, right-hand batter waiting. Kershaw delivers and the pitch is low, ball 1. I'm sure Kershaw and Jeter each accepting the challenge to go up against the other. Jeter, from New Jersey, where he was born, lives in Kalamazoo, Michigan. The 1-0 pitch on the way, and Derek backs away. It's tight to the kneecaps, ball 2, 2-0. Jeter graduated high school, a 3.8 grade average. He's received all the honors. He was Mr. Baseball for the state of Michigan, USA Today's Player of the Year, a first-team All-American. Swings on the 2-0, comes up empty, and the count 2-1. Derek Jeter, every time he is announced when he hits in Yankee Stadium, they play a recording of the late Bob Shepard, who announced the public address system for years. He fouls another pitch away. And it was Jeter's request. I would love to be introduced by Bob. And so every time he comes up, that great voice of the late Bob Shepard is heard. And it was heard last Sunday when he was introduced, the crowd went bananas, and he promptly hit the first pitch for a home run. How typical of Jeter. 2-2 pitch on the way, and Derek swings, punches one on the ground to Uribe. Juan gets it across to first, and we have 2 down in the first inning. We can take a look at the Dodgers with the leather. We can check them out for you. No dramatic change. Gonzalez and Schumacher instead of Mark Ellis. Ramirez, Uribe, Crawford, Ethier, and Puig. A.J. Ellis behind the plate. Robinson, Cano checking in. Last night, Cano and Mark Ellis were playing against each other, and certainly they are the 2 top hitting second basemen in the month of July. Cano takes the first pitch outside, ball 1. Robinson Cano in the month of July hitting .330. In the National League, Mark Ellis hitting .322. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way. Clayton ready and deals. Ground ball to first. Nice pick by Gonzalez. Takes it to the bag. Very easy inning for Clayton Kershaw. 1, 2, 3. And at the end of half an inning, Yankees nothing. Dodgers coming up. Time for the Dodgers to come up. We'll check the card. Carl Crawford leads off in left field. Yasiel Puig is in right. Adrian Gonzalez at first, and Hanley Ramirez hits cleanup at short. Andre Ethier in center field. A.J. Ellis behind the plate. Skip Schumacher at second base, resting Mark Ellis. Juan Uribe bats eighth at third. Clayton Kershaw, the pitcher. On the mound for the New York Yankees, Hiroki Kuroda, 6'1", 190. He is 38 years old. He's from Osaka in Japan. He went from the Hiroshima Carp to the Dodgers out of Senshu University. He won 41 ball games while he was with the Dodgers, and he's been pitching exceptionally well, especially in the month of July. He's allowed only 2 runs in 26 innings in July. He does have to be careful, especially in the first inning. He's given up 31 hits in the first inning. And to test him right away, Carl Crawford takes a strike, and the count 0-1. So Carl up and down with his temperature, which had him miss most of the Cincinnati series, but he's back in the lineup. The left-hand hitter waits. Kuroda rocks, hesitates, then deals. Fastball off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Carl Crawford hitting .284, 5 home runs, 16 runs batted in. Kuroda comes back 1-1, and it's chased and missed. 1-2 the count. Hiroki Kuroda has a wife and 2 daughters, and as he says, the younger daughter speaks better English than he does, but he does make a great effort. Very, very pleasant guy when he was with the Dodgers. Now the 1-2 pitch on the way. Hiroki deals off the plate, high and away, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. When you come over from Japan, the pitchers say there's a couple of differences that really bother them. 2-2 pitch on the way, fastball fouled away. First of all, the mounds in Japan are the same size as those in the majors, 10 inches high, 18 feet around. However, in Japan, the mounds are made of a softer, more powdery dirt that allows pitchers to dig in and provides less resistance when a pitcher drags his foot. And Kuroda does just that. Crawford chasing a bad ball up and away and strikes out. So 1 away.
Next, Dodgers right fielder, number 66.
Yasiel Puig will be coming up. Just to continue about the problems Kuroda had when he first came over here, since he does drag his foot, the harder ground caused friction, and that led him to painful blisters on the top of his foot. But he's fought through all that, and he has the same record as Clayton Kershaw, 10-6. Now here is Puig. Yasiel waiting. Right-hand hitter swings as usual at the first pitch, and a fly ball. That's all it is. Brett Gardner, the center fielder, makes the catch, and that will be that. A quick 2 out. Let's set the Yankees defensively. Lillibridge at first base, and then you have Cano, Jeter, and Nix, Soriano, Gardner, and Vernon Wells in right field. Chris Stewart behind the plate, and Kuroda on the mound. Alfonso Soriano, who started with the Yankees, played, of course, with the Cubs, now back and provides them exactly what they need, some power. These are not the Bronx Bombers that we knew in years gone by. So here's Gonzalez, and he looks at a pitch for a strike. The other thing the Japanese pitchers talk about, besides the mound, the baseballs. The baseballs are larger and more slippery in the major leagues, they contend. And there's one other thing. Strike 1 pitch on the way, breaking ball inside. In Japan, pitchers do not have to travel with their teams to road games if they are not pitching. So it is a difference. East meets west, and Kuroda comes back 1-1 to Gonzalez and finds the mark for a strike. 1-2 the count. Basically with Kuroda, Gonzalez knows he's going to look at a lot of pitches. Fastball, slider, forkball, changeup. 1-2 pitch on the way. Swung on, pulled, foul outside of first. There's also a pitch that Kuroda describes as a shuuto. The best they can explain the definition of it, it's a reverse slider. It's something like a screwball, but doesn't have that much break. Shuuto. Sounds like it should be a noodle. The 1-2 pitch on the way, pulled on the ground to the right side. Cano is up with it easily, so each pitcher retires the other. 1, 2, 3, and at the end of an inning, Yankees nothing, Dodgers nothing. can duck in a score, and it's a final score. Arizona beat Tampa Bay 7-0. The three jewels in the Dodger crown would be their 3 World Series victories against the Yankees. In 1955, Johnny Padres won the squeaker. 1963, a sweep with Koufax and Drysdale. And 81, the triple MVP, Say, Guerrero, and Yeager, winning 4-2. The first pitch now to Alfonso Soriano, missing, and then at the last minute drifts back in to catch the corner. 0-1 the count. Kershaw to the windup and comes back, drops that good curveball, and whoa, that was public enemy number 1. So 0-2 the count to Alfonso Soriano. Take another look at the breaking ball. Not much he could do with that. Strike 2 pitch on the way. Fastball low. Ball 1. 1955. You want to talk about the Yankee Dodger World Series. The play that is burned in the memory book. The running catch by Sandy Amoros in the left field corner. The 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed out of the dirt, and Ellis throws to first in time for the out. Yogi Berra with Gil McDougald on base, and Berra, a notorious bad ball hitter, left-hand batter, hit a towering fly ball right down the left field line. Amoros, number 1, playing a left-hand hitter toward left center, had a long way to run and just did make the catch at the box seats. McDougald was around second, tried to get back to first. Amoros threw to Pee Wee Reese. He threw to Gil Hodges. They doubled up Gil McDougald, and the Dodgers went on to win it 2-0. The only championship in Brooklyn history. Vernon Wells, who appeared as a pinch hitter last night, checks in, takes a strike, has a look at a pitch that misses. Wells hit back to the box in the 8th inning last night against Ronald Belisario. 1 away, 2nd inning, no score. Now the 1-1 pitch on the way, and the fastball outside corner at the knees, and the count 1-2. Of course, after their great victory in '55, the Dodgers had a perfect game tossed against them the next year. High fly ball down the right field line. Puig comes, dives, traps it, guns it back in, and no play at first. Had Hanley Ramirez realized he might have seen that Vernon Wells made a big turn at first, Puig, as usual, racing over to come up with the ball and threw an arrow to Ramirez. Wells had grounded and lawn so far, Puig trapping the ball, diving head first, and then gunned it into Ramirez. And if Ramirez had whirled and taken a look, they would have gotten Vernon Wells. So a great effort by Puig. Wells goes a good 25 feet. Looking for a throw was Gonzalez, but it never came. So a single for Vernon Wells into right field with 1 out. An exciting try by Puig. That's almost redundant. And here's Brett Lillibridge playing first base instead of Lyle Overbay. Brett hitting .118, 5 runs batted in. He's from Everett, Washington. Went to the university. He helped the USA team to a silver medal in 2002. 1 ball and no strikes. Brett Lillibridge, originally signed by the Pirates out of the University of Washington, played a little bit for the Braves and the White Sox, then the Indians, the Red Sox, the Cubs, and finally the Yankees. Half swing, fouls it away, 1-1. I don't know if you remember Jeff Bagwell or not. Wonderful player with the Houston Astros. Looked like Jeff was sitting in an imaginary chair at home plate. Lillibridge, when he checks in, if you remember Bagwell, you might think about Jeff right away. Lillibridge, 5'11", about 185, lives in Everett, Washington. Starts to sit down in that crouch, then at the knees, straight up back. The 1-1 pitch swung on and missed. High fastball at 91, and the count 1-2. Lillibridge had a grade point average in high school of 3.7. So a bright young man, 30 years old. One and two the count. Out of a stretch goes left-hand to Kershaw, and the next pitch fouled away. Still 1-2. They would like to get Lillibridge to learn how to bunt more. Of course, when you're struggling and hitting only 118, they try to teach you to stand on your head. It would help your hitting. Joe Girardi, as we told you, had a base hit his very first major league at bat. Some guys start off on the right foot. The 1-2 pitch on the way, fouled at the plate. Still 1-2. On deck, Jason Nix. We're in the second inning, no score in the ball game. We talked about 55, the Dodgers won, but of course 56, that was Don Larson's perfect game. And of course Larson had made a start a few games earlier, and the Dodgers pushed them all over the lot. And then the big happy-go-lucky guy went out and pitched a perfecto. There goes Wells. Off-speed pitch is lined into center. So Wells keeps on going. He's into third. So a 74-mile-an-hour changeup, and Vernon Wells spins to third. That was a real gift to Lillibridge to throw a straight change to him, and he bangs it. So now Jason Nix will be coming up. First and third, one out, second inning, no score. We mentioned it last night. When you look at his first name, it's a little different. You expect Jason, but there's a Y in there. And when you ask about the Y, it's a family thing. His brother's name is Lance with a Y. His father's name is Lance with a Y. And that's why. He's from Dallas and Midland, Texas, and with one out trying to get a run for the Yankees, and takes a strike. 0-1. Jason Nix was originally signed by the Colorado Rockies. First round pick. Came up to the Rockies in 08 and then disappeared from the Colorado organization. Played a little bit with the White Sox, the Indians, the Blue Jays, and now the Yankees. Strike one pitch on the way. Kershaw deals, swung on, popped up. It will be Hanley Ramirez, and the runner's nowhere to go. So Nix pops it up, and we have two down. Now the batter will be the catcher, Chris Stewart. Stewart, right-hand batter. He's from Fontana, so he has come home to play here. He makes his home in Riverside now. Well put together, 6'4", 210, hitting .224. Originally drafted by the White Sox. We talked about the euphemism they have in baseball, and they say Chris Stewart is one of the better ones at framing pitches. And framing is the euphemism for trying to fool the umpire. Trying to take a pitch just off the corner and make it look like it was a strike. Jose Molina, the catcher for Tampa Bay, they tell me is absolutely the best at framing. And of course we'll see Tampa Bay when they come here on the 9th. The first pitch to Stewart, he takes low off the plate. Ball one, 1-0. They are so, what would be the word? So studious about the activities of the major league player. They even have statistics on framing. And when I said that Jose Molina is the best at it, they say he has framed 13 point something for strikes, a percentage. 1-0 pitch on the way is taken in the dirt. Nice block there by A.J. 2 balls and no strikes, the count. Second inning, no score. The outfield fanned out straight away with a right-hand hitter up. Crawford is still playing somewhat shallow and left. A.J. Ellis out to the mound to talk to Clayton. They're good buddies as well as a very successful battery. And I'm sure one of the reasons they think a lot alike. So A.J. jogging back. Clayton waiting for him to get back into position. And Chris Stewart, 31-year-old catcher, waiting at the plate. Stewart was in the National League briefly with the Giants 2 years ago. He backed up Eli Whiteside. That's when the Giants had lost Buster Posey. 2-0 pitch on the way. Clayton delivers a strike. Fastball down the middle at 93. Clayton tried to work his way out of a jam. A one-out single by Wells. A straight change for a base hit to Lillibridge. Nix popped up. And here's the 2-1 pitch to Stewart. Fastball but low. He's behind now 3-1. Hiroki Kuroda on deck. So Kuroda waits. No score, second inning. Kershaw now has made 34 pitches. Left-hander ready, and the 3-1 pitch swung on. Big bounce to Uribe. He goes quickly to second base to get the force on Lillibridge. So no runs, 2 hits, and 2 left. And at the end of an inning and a half, no score. Don't forget, August 13th, Dodgers and Mets at 7:10. First 40,000 fans in attendance receive their very own Dodgers knit cap, compliments of Pizza Hut. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotion. Hiroki Kuroda tuning up. There are some Dodger fans, of course, and some Yankee fans. So it's a good mixture. Prospects of a very good ball game yet again as we go to the bottom of the second inning. By the way, Hiroki Kuroda out on the mound, and you kind of give it up without even thinking about it. He has an earned run average of 2.5, and Kuroda has been in 21 starts. You know, over the last 40 years, only 3 other Yankee pitchers have had an ERA as low as Hiroki's 2.51 in their first 21 starts. Who were they? Ron Guidry, Phil Niekro, and David Cone. So Hiroki's in the top class as he looks in to get a sign and pitch to Hanley Ramirez. Hanley takes a look at his strike, and the count 0-1. Ramirez knocked in a run after Puig doubled in the first inning last night. He has hit safely in 11 straight. Kuroda comes back 0-1, and this one finds the mark. So Ramirez in a hole now. No balls and 2 strikes. One of the many, many reasons why the Dodgers have been playing so well, especially in July. They're 19-5. The team batting average in July is .292. That's a remarkable high for a whole team. Strike 2 pitch off the plate. Dodgers also in July have scored 125 runs. And then you look at how well the pitching has done, how well the bullpen have done, and you realize they're 3.5 in front. They're for real. 1-2 pitch on the way to Hanley Ramirez, down and dirty. Be a new ball put in play, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. When Hiroki Kuroda was with the Dodgers, he was talking about the discipline in Japan, and he brought it at home by talking about his mother, who was a highly disciplined mom. We'll tell you in a moment why. Hiroki ready, rocks, and then Hanley backs out. Among other things, Hiroki said, and he did something wrong, his mother would throw him out of the house naked. And then Hiroki would smile and say, that'd be a crime here, right? Ground foul outside of third. I would think so. The lawyers would be on the lawn. 2-2 the count. He also talked about when he was at the academy. That's where they take these kids, and it's been likened to military boot camp. And anyway, he and a buddy of his, they were both pitchers, and they pitched poorly. And the top sergeant, the gunnery sergeant, whoever, who ran the baseball camp, said, you guys are going to run around the camp for 4 days. I mean, 4 days? Yes, sir. Absolutely. And they started to run. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Ramirez. Swung on, chopper to the hole at short, backhanded by Jeter, who gets him. Nice play. 1 away. Well, like good boys, they followed the rules and they ran around the park. However, they admit when the light went out in the boss's room, the kids would drop behind the fence, maybe sleep a while. And on the 3rd day, the other fella said to Hiroki, let's go home. Let's go to my house. So they went back to the other boy's house on the 3rd day. And while they were at the boy's house, the boy called Hiroki's mom. He didn't want her to worry. And his mother said, what? You're supposed to run for 4 days and you're quitting on the 3rd day? And the other fellow said, yeah, that's right, Mrs. Kuroda. She said, do me a favor. Take my son and bring him back and make him run the 4th day. But what's nice is Hiroki talks about that, and he always smiles while he's telling the story. Andre Ethier takes a look at a pitch that bounces at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. When you are doing well in this game, or as the players say, when you're going good, everything goes your way. And you talk about pulling a rabbit out of a top hat last night. The Dodgers running Andre Ethier. He had stolen 3. He's been caught 3 times, and he made it last night. He fouls a pitch away. There are a couple of reasons why he made it. First of all, Chris Stewart's throw was a bad throw, a bouncer towards Cano. So Cano, as he caught the bounce throw, tried to make a sweeping tag on Ethier, and the ball flew out of his glove. But you see, when you are going good, when you are doing well, Ethier fouls another one away. And then sure enough, now that he's safe at second, Mark Ellis hits a flare over the head of a leaping Derek Jeter, and the Dodgers win a thriller 3-2. Right now, scoreless, bottom of the 2nd inning. Ethier with A.J. Ellis on deck. Andre hitting .266. 7 home runs, 36 runs batted in. And he hits one into shallow left center. That's going to drop in front of Brett Gardner. So Ethier gets himself a base hit. And the batter now will be A.J. Ellis.
Dodger catcher number 17, A.J. Ellis.
Hit number 1 for the Dodgers. The Yankees have 2 hits against Clayton Kershaw. Ellis hitting .260, but since the end of June, in other words, for a month, hitting .291, and in 19 games, Picked up 15 runs batted in the process. AJ with Skip Schumacher on deck. Second inning, no score. Kuroda twists a minute, takes a look at Ethier, who has a short lead. Now Hiroki delivers, and the first pitch in for a strike, and the count 0-1. No score, bottom of the second inning. The last Dodger-Yankee game for the year. 0-1. The next one to AJ, he lays off a pitch low. 1 ball and 1 strike. When Hiroki was with the Dodgers, he would have daily 30-minute English lessons from Kenji Nomura, his translator. Then tried to study 15 minutes a day more. But he said it never really worked. His young daughter picked up the language a lot quicker than he did. You know what? I've heard of a lot of, I guess it was a superstition, but for Hiroki, this is amazing. I'll tell you in a moment. 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-handed deals, punched on the ground to Cano. He hangs it to Jeter, and there's your double play. Although it took an effort by Lillibridge, Jeter's throw very low in the dirt. Well, we'll tell you about Hiroki Kuroda in a minute. But the Dodgers are down thanks to the double play, and at the end of 2, no score. The first 15,000 ticketed kids, 14 and under in attendance, receive their own Dodger back-to-school backpack. Compliments of First 5 LA. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Where were we? Oh, yeah, we were talking about Kuroda, and here he is, taking ball 1. When he played in Japan, he had a lot of rituals or superstitions, especially an odd one. That one misses. Ball 2, 2-0. Before leaving home to go to the ballpark, he would take a shower. Nothing wrong there. But he used the underwear that he wore the previous game. Now what is that about? 2-0 pitch in for a strike. I guess maybe he had won the previous game, so he wanted to wear the underwear again after taking a shower. 2-1 pitch, and good fastball in there. Of course, this game will get you to thinking. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Hiroki Kuroda. Next pitch is a little low. Hiroki said as he got older, He got rid of some of the rituals. Three and two the count. Clayton Kershaw back, and strike three at the knees. 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Of course, you don't expect very much from American League pitchers. They don't get a chance to swing the bat.
Center fielder, Brett Gardner.
So Kershaw picks up his second strikeout. The first one's approaching the plate right now, and that would be Brett Gardner. Gardner with Jeter on deck. Last night, a dramatic walk-off base hit by Mark Ellis. Little looper over the head of Derek Jeter that cashed in Andre Ethier. Dodger walk-off wins against the Yankees. There have been two. 1947, Game 4 of the World Series. Cookie Lavagetto pinch hit a two-run double with two out in the ninth inning, doubling high off the screen in right field in Ebbets Field. The 1-0 pitch is taken inside, ball two. One of the subjects of discussion all that winter, Bucky Harris put Pete Reiser on base. Put Pete the winning run on base. Bucky Harris didn't know it. Pete Reiser had a broken leg, and they walked him intentionally. Eddie Mixis ran for him. Bevins, by the way, was pitching a no-hitter, and he walked 10 men in the game. And then Lavagetto came up, doubled off the screen, and the Dodgers won the game. Here's the 2-1 pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled off. 1956, after Don Larson's perfect game, Jackie Robinson had a two-out single, bottom of the 10th off Bob Turley. That gave Brooklyn a 1-0 victory. Two balls and two strikes. Kershaw ready. High chopper over the mound. There's Ramirez at the bag. They'll throw him out. Gardner runs very well. Two down.
Shortstop number 2, Derek Jeter.
Derek Jeter grounded out in the first inning, 0 for 1. Derek was 0 for 4 last night, all ground balls, robbed of a hit by Hanley Ramirez in the 8th inning. 3,307 hits. Can you imagine? Your name is atop Lou Gehrig, Babe Ruth, and Mickey Mantle. All right, Derek checks in. Kershaw ready and deals, and the first pitch is low, ball one. Yeah, when you start talking statistics with Derek Jeter and what he has done with the Yankees, you can be doing it most of the night. 1-0 pitch, swung on and beaten foul into the dirt. Derek Jeter with his 3,307 hits. Willie Mays behind him, 3,283. You probably know Pete Rose, number 1, 4,256. Ty Cobb, 4,189. Those are the only two to gather over 4,000 hits. Pitch inside, ball two. 2-1 the count to Derek. Averaging 110 runs scored and 194 hits over the last 17 years. 2-1 pitch, swung on, slapped foul into the crowd behind the Yankee dugout, and the count 2-2. The numbers on Derek, well, he was born in June 1974, born in Pequahawk, New Jersey, lives in Kalamazoo, Michigan, although I think he spends a great deal of time in New York. He shares a birthday with Abner Doubleday. That's right. Abner was born June the 26th. 2-2 pitch on the way. Derek swings, ground ball up the middle, backhanded by Shue, who throws him out. So Jeter has hit 6 ground balls in the series. He's 0 for 6. Down go the Yankees, and at the end of 2.5, no score. Dodgers have 1 hit. The Yankees have 2. Hiroki Kuroda, in 2 innings, has gotten ahead of each hitter on the first pitch. One reason he's breezed along pretty well, although Ethier did hit a little fly ball single into center. So Kuroda going to work. Skip Schumacher playing second base, giving Mark Ellis some time off. Schu hitting .269. Kuroda's first pitch, a little low, ball 1, 1-0. Schumacher with 2 home runs, 21 runs batted in, but he's been hitting very well since way back in May. Took him a little while to adjust coming from St. Louis. He also had the wrong number. And then finally, when Ramon Hernandez, the veteran catcher, left, Schumacher got number 55. He said, "I feel more like myself." That's the number he wore for all his years in St. Louis. Numbers mean a lot to these fellas. Tim Wallach waited, and when Ted Lilly was dispatched, Tim Wallach wanted that number 29. That was the number he wore for all his years. 2-1 the count. Fastball high, ball 3. We had a lovely pregame ceremony honoring Mariano Rivera. Among other things, Mariano, who is a fisherman, 3-1 pitch. That's high, ball 4. Mariano's father was a sardine fisherman. They would ground it up for fish flour. And Mariano loves to fish. But what he really wanted to do when he's home in Panama, he was hoping to go and do some deep sea fishing. And the Dodgers not only gave him $10,000 for one of his churches to be used, Mark Walter, the chairman of Guggenheim, presenting it. They also gave him a very, very expensive deep sea fishing rod. It is really a magnificent piece. It is not just a deep sea fishing rod. I think the man who designed it and did all the work back in New Jersey, his name is Tom Green. There you can see, and there's Mariano's name. The colors of the Yankees are on there. Bobby Patton is holding it. It was Bobby, I think, who brought the fishing rod here. Bobby's from Texas. So another lovely moment to a lovely guy, Mariano Rivera. Dodgers are also hoping, as Uribe takes a strike, they're also hoping that Mariano enjoys Los Angeles and has a wonderful rest. Schumacher at first, nobody out. 3rd inning, no score. Uribe with an 0-2 count. That's when he homered against Pettit last night. Kuroda ready and deals, and the sliders away, ball 1. That was a remarkable home run last night. First of all, Uribe hits a no-ball 2-strike pitch for a home run. That's only the 9th time that ever happened to Andy Pettit. And then the home run went into the second deck. Andy out there now staring at Uribe, wondering how he managed that trick. Little ground ball to the right side. Cano's only play is to first. So on that chopper, Schumacher moves on to second, and Clayton Kershaw coming up.
Dodger pitcher number 22, Clayton Kershaw.
Clayton Kershaw, as you probably know if you've been following the Dodgers, pretty good hitter. You always add that, though. Pretty good hitter for a pitcher. He has 7 hits. He has 14 sacrifices. And, of course, he has that cherished home run over the center field fence against the Giants. Jason Nix about even with the bag at 3rd. Everybody else back. Full swing foul. No balls in, 1 strike to count. No score. Bottom of the 3rd inning. And we have 1 away. A little while ago we were talking about walk-offs, and Jackie Robinson walk-off single to give the Dodgers a victory in the '56 series. The next day, Johnny Cook shut out the Dodgers to clinch the series. That base hit by Jackie would be the last one in his career. Pitch in the dirt, blocked, and holding on at second because he wasn't sure where the ball was. Schumacher holds on. And one other interesting note about 1956. First the shutout by Cooks, then the hit by Robinson, which would be his last one, and the Game 6 victory would be Brooklyn's last game in World Series play. Wow. 1 ball and 1 strike. Out of a stretch goes Kuroda. Back he comes. Sinking fastball, swung on and missed. That's 93. The Kuroda certainly hasn't lost anything. I mean, it looks exactly like the same man who pitched here. He's 38. The 1-2 pitch on the way. Kuroda delivers, a little ground foul. Looked like a low pitch. Kershaw golfed at it. 1-2. When Kuroda was here, he won 9 games, 8 games, and 11 games. His last year with the Dodgers, he won 13. First year with the Yankees, he won 16. 1-2 to Clayton Kershaw. Kuroda high set, over the top, low, on his knees, Chris Stewart, to make a good block. 2-2 the count. No score, no runs, 2 hits for the Yankees. No runs, 1 hit for the Dodgers. You know, the Dodgers have won the last 8 one-run games, and they've done it against 7 different clubs. They've really gotten tough in every department. Dodgers are 10-4 in one-run games at home. Kershaw raises a high twisting fly ball down the left field line, coming over Soriano to make the catch in foul ground. So holding at second is Schumacher, and the batter will be Carl Crawford.
Left fielder, number 25, Carl Crawford.
Crawford struck out in the first inning. The Carl 0 for 1. We're in the bottom of the third. The Yankees in the second inning with 1 out. Vernon Wells single to right, a diving headfirst trap by Puig. Wells rounded first. Puig gunned it into second, and had Ramirez had eyes in the back of his head and turned, they might have gotten Wells rounding first that wide. Pitch to Crawford, that's in for a strike. Lillibridge then followed, got a changeup. That was a gift from heaven, and single to center. So the Yankees had first and third 1 out, but Nix popped up. Stewart hit into a force play, and here we are scoreless in the bottom of the third. Kuroda reading Stewart. Now Hiroki is ready. The strike 1 pitch, fastball down at the feet. Crawford had to move them in a hurry. 1 ball and 1 strike. Hiroki is 6'1", he is 190. Had a lot of trouble this year in the first inning, giving up 31 hits, but he sailed tonight without any effort at all. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Crawford fouls that back. That got a little bit of Chris Stewart. So the Yankee catcher is shaken up, has to walk it off. 1-2 the count. Joe Girardi. He was a catcher in the big leagues, actually from 1989 through 2003. So he knows all about foul balls. And he made the playoffs 4 or 5 years as the Yankee manager. Came up the winner in the World Series 2009. He's 49 years old come October. 5'11", 195. Looks exactly as he did when he played. 1-2 in the dirt. So Kuroda runs the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Coming into the game, he allowed 2 earned runs in 26 innings, so now it's 28. The opposition has hit him harder in the beginning of the game than in the middle or the later frames. Schumacher at second, 2 out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yasiel Puig on deck. And ball 3. William 2. Full count to Carl Crawford. Schumacher takes the lead with 2 out from second base. Dorota ready. Here he comes. And it is swung on and missed. And down goes Crawford. That might have been the Shuuto, or by any other name, strike 3. And at the end of 3, no score. Twitter poll. What trade deadline deal will help their new team out the most? Tweet hashtag Jake Peavy to the Red Sox, Bud Norris to the Orioles, or Alfonso Soriano to the Yankees. Keep tuning in. We'll give you the results in a little while. Kind of a quiet trade deadline. Not too much happened. Alfonso Soriano will be coming up second in the inning. Robinson Cano will start it off. Ball 1. I always remember the 1963 season for one reason, and I should say the World Series. Of course, the season was great too. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-1. I remember going to Yankee Stadium, sitting in the dugout talking to the manager, Ralph Houck, and he got talking about Sandy Koufax. And Ralph said, "How good is that kid?" Whoop, ball 2. And I said to him, "Ralph, I just hope on the national stage he can show you how good he is." And he shook his head and said, "Well, okay, we'll see." Well, Sandy struck out 15 in that game. He beat Whitey Ford in game 4 to complete it. And the Dodgers swept the Yankees. But I'll always remember Houck wondering, well, how good is he? 15 strikeouts later. Drive to left. Crawford reaches up to snare it, and we have 1 away. People have always asked me over the years, and I tell it now because the Dodgers playing the Yankees, about the biggest home runs I ever saw. One, of course, would be Bobby Thompson's home run, the Giants beating the Dodgers way back in '51. Another one, Henry Aaron's home run that broke Babe Ruth's record. We were in Atlanta to watch that one. And then, of course, Kirk Gibson's home run here. One more, and there's a line drive by the diving Uribe. So Soriano blisters one for a single. No score in the fourth. And Vernon Wells coming up. In 1963, Dodgers and Yankees are going to meet in the World Series. Mel Allen, the great Yankee broadcaster, had a bad throat. It happens to all of us. And in September of '63, the doctors told Mel, whatever you do, stay subdued. You know, he had that great call, going, gone for a big home run. And all through September, he did just that, getting ready for the World Series. And for 3 games, he was subdued, kept his voice down. Vernon Wells, a flare, a leaping catch by Schumacher. Back to first goes Soriano. Well, if the shoe fits, play it. And Schumacher comes up with a big play on that flare by Wells. Little looper heading to right field. That would have been a big play had he not made it, but he did. So the batter will be Lillibridge. Up and at him. Anyway, it was the 4th game of the World Series, 1963. Dodgers are winning 1-0. Koufax and Whitey Ford. Doesn't get much better than that. And Mel is on the air. And Mickey Mantle came up and hit a home run against Sandy Koufax to tie up the game 1-1. And when Mantle hit the ball, everything went for broke. Mel forgot all about the cautions about his voice and everything else. And he gave it a great, whoops, the pickoff. Soriano is hung out to dry. So Kershaw, who has a great move to first, just has him exposed. Schumacher handles the tag. We'll get back to Koufax and Mantle and the '63 series. No score. Farmer Boys. Get an award-winning Farmer's Burger topped with farm fresh veggies, cheese, bacon, and avocado. By Chase. Send money to almost anyone, anywhere with your smartphone. Chase Quick Pay, so you can. And by 76. We're on the driver's side. Bottom of the fourth inning, no score in the ball game. Alfonso Soriano burned by that great move to first of Clayton Kershaw. The base stealers are a little bit above 500. That's all, trying to steal against Clayton. And he has picked off a total of more base runners than he has allowed stolen bases. So Soriano, who has good speed, but he was hung out to dry for sure. Puig hits a little dribbler back to the box, and just like that, he's done. Once in a while, the Dodgers ought to read some notes about the opposition, and of course we know they do. But here's the important thing. Hitters do not do themselves a favor if they put Kuroda's first two pitches in play. The first pitch put in play, the batting average is .220. So quickly, one out in the fourth inning, and here's Adrian Gonzalez. Gonzalez grounded out in the first inning. And a strike. Anyway, when Mantle hit that home run and Mel Allen gave that great call, but it was too loud and too hard for his throat, and he just came apart. Check swing. No swing, 1 ball, 1 strike. Tom Gallery was the head of NBC Sports in those days. Mel tried to speak after calling the home run, and nothing really would come out. I was supposed to go down to the clubhouse if the Yankees lost, and I would do the Dodgers celebration. You've seen that all the time. Gonzalez fouls it away 1-2. However, Gallery tapped Mel on the shoulder, pointed to me as if to say, give the microphone to Dick. And I felt awful. I'm telling you, my heart was broken for Mel. I thought here on the world stage in this great moment after a big home run by Mickey Mantle, and he can't speak anymore. That was a valuable lesson for me there, but for the grace of God go I. It could happen at any time, anywhere. So that one strikes a particular chord in my heart. Mantle's home run here. Then again, it's only 50 years ago. 2-2 the count to Gonzalez. No score. Bottom of the fourth inning. Kuroda deals, and down goes Adrian. 3 strikeouts for Hiroki. They gotten Crawford twice and Gonzalez. Ball just seems to die. That might be that Shuoto, that reverse screwball. Hanley Ramirez with an 11-game hitting streak, grounded out in the second inning. And fastball strike. Kershaw has not walked anybody. Clayton has struck out 2. Kuroda has not walked anybody until Schumacher in the third. He has struck out 2. The starting pitchers tonight come in with the identical record, 10 wins and 6 losses. One ball and 1 strike. Popped in the air, foul, out of play. 1-2 the count. You wanted to pick up a thread of the World Series between the Yankees and the Dodgers. We were talking about 63. 1977, Yankees win. And remember, that was the series when Reggie Jackson hit 3 home runs in one game. It was game 6. Look out. So Ramirez strikes out. 4 strikeouts for Kuroda. He is really coming back to cast a spell on the Dodgers. And at the end of 4, no score. Stand tonight. They'll start off on a rocky note because they will leave after the game tonight, whatever time that will be. Let's just say they leave at midnight. Then it will be immediately 2 a.m. taking off Chicago time, and they'll fly to Chicago and then play tomorrow. That's the beginning of a grueling trip, 4 in Chicago, 4 in St. Louis, and then home. Kershaw, a strike to Lillibridge as we begin the 5th. Oh, and 1. To give you an idea of how Kershaw controls the running game, in his career, 45 successful stolen bases, 41 runners caught stealing, and a total of 72 pickoffs. 40 we'll call clear pickoffs, where he throws over to first and Gonzalez tags the runner. The other pickoff, 32 of those, like we saw with Soriano. He throws over to first, Soriano breaks to go to second, and then nail the runner. But that is something. 72 pickoffs, 41 caught stealing, 45 stolen bases. He controls the running game. Hit to the hole, backhanded, long throw on the money. Another nice play by Hanley Ramirez. He makes it look easy as anything but. I mean, once his shortstop's feet are on the grass and he's way over to the right, that's a heck of a throw, and it has to be accurate. And he's right there. So Lillibridge grounds out, 1 away, and that'll bring up Jason Nix. He popped up in the 2nd inning. That 1977 World Series, talking about Reggie Jackson. No wonder he was Mr. October. Little pop fly to Hanley. He hit a record 5 home runs in that series. He drove in 8 and scored 10. Those 3 home runs, that was the World Series clincher, 8-4. And then in 1978, remember Greg Nettles? He had 4 magical plays at third base. Helped Guidry to a big win in Game 3, and the Yankees won in 6. 1981, George Frazier. Big, easygoing guy, broadcast now for the Colorado Rockies. But George Frazier was a 3-time loser in relief, and the Dodgers won the '81 series. Fly ball to Ethier. Down go the Yankees, 1, 2, 3, and at the end of 4.5, no score. Fox Sports 1 will be your home for great live sports, all the news and highlights you want, and shows and specials that only Fox can bring you. America's new sports network, Fox Sports 1, coming August 17th. Tough ball game, bottom of the 5th inning, no score. If I look at number 1, and it's a Dodger game, I think of Captain Pee Wee Reese. No score in the 5th. Andre Ethier, A.J. Ellis, Skip Schumacher. We've been kind of visiting with you, talking about World Series involving these two teams. They've met 11 times in the World Series. Yankees have won at the 11th. There's only one other championship that involved the same two teams more than 11 times. That would be the Lakers and the Celtics. They've played each other 12 times in NBA playoffs. And Kobe Bryant is here, taken in the game with Magic Johnson. 0-1 the count to Andre Ethier. Single to center in the 2nd inning. And drive to right, very playable. Wells is right there. 1 down. One of the many angles about the series, admittedly it's so brief, just 2 games. The fact that, for instance, you have Don Mattingly, who was a great Yankee player, and now he's the Dodger manager trying to beat the Yankees. But that's not a first. Leo DeRocher was an infielder with the Yankees. There were all kinds of stories about Leo. There was one I remember where Babe Ruth charged him with doing something wrong, and Babe picked him up and stuffed him in the wastebasket in the dressing room. Yeah. Anyway, Leo played for the Yankees, and then of course became a Brooklyn Dodger manager and battled the Yankees in 1941. In fact, Leo was a coach with the Dodgers when they beat the Yankees in 1963. And then of course there was the great Casey Stengel, the old professor. He was an outfielder for the Dodgers and of course became a great manager with the Yankees.
Everybody clap
And as far as those 11 World Series are concerned, 6 of the series managers are in the Hall of Fame. Joe McCarthy, Bucky Harris, Casey Stengel with the Yankees, Leo DeRocher, Walter Alston, Tom Lasorda with the Dodgers. That's a one-hopper by the diving Jeter into left center. A.J. will make a turn and hold on. Dodgers have 2 hits. The Yankees have 3 hits. And the batter will be Schumacher. Great effort by Jeter to no avail. So A.J. at first. One other thing about the Yankees and the Dodgers in the World Series. The 11 series produced 23 players who became Hall of Famers. 14 Yankees, 23 players, 14 Yankees, 9 Dodgers. Ball 1. So anyway, things have been kind of quiet. Thought maybe you'd enjoy looking back at the past until lightning hits this ball game. Bottom of the 5th, no score, 1 out. A.J. Ellis at first. Kuroda has been a first pitch strike artist. Fouled away. The only batter to start with a ball 1 count was Schumacher, who eventually walked in the 3rd inning. Otherwise, 14 of 15 first pitch strikes. So Kuroda, who knows how to pitch, he had well over 100 victories in Japan. He had 41 wins here with the Dodgers. 1-1. Fouled away. 1-2. Hiroki Kuroda, since he's been with the Yankees, including his 10 wins tonight, that would give him 26 wins with the Yankees in a year and a half. Ellis short lead at first, held on by Lillibridge. 1-2. Got him. So Schumacher strikes out. 4 strikeouts for Kuroda. Coming into the game, Hiroki Kuroda had struck out 91. So he has 95, and he'll be working on Juan Uribe. No runs, 3 hits. Closest to a run, Yankees had 1st and 3rd, 1 out 2nd inning. Nix popped up. Stewart hit into a force play. The Dodgers have gotten 1 man to 2nd base. That was Schumacher, who walked and advanced on a ground ball. Oh, and 1 the count. Oh, and 1 the count. And a drive to left. Going back is Soriano to pick it off. So that'll be that. Down go the Dodgers on a hit. And at the end of 5, no score. in the minor leagues, and he struck out. He batted against Lon Warneke and went down on strikes. When he was originally signed as manager of the Dodgers, the headline in the New York papers said, "Walter who?" Well, it was Walter Alston, and he did a magnificent job as the Dodgers skipper. In fact, we were talking about the 6 managers coming out of the World Series between the Yankees and Dodgers who went on to the Hall of Fame, and Walter, of course, was one of them. Yep, talking about the Hall of Fame, it was on this day in 1983, Walter Alston was honored. Accepting the Hall of Fame honor for him, however, was his grandson. Walter had suffered a heart attack. Let's get back to the ball game. So far, it's been a routine game, which is a tribute to the pitchers. Maybe the only play that was really difficult was that leaping catch made by Schumacher on the ball hit by Wells. So now 1 away on a routine ground ball to short, and the batter is Brett Gardner. Struck out, grounded out, 0 for 2. Gardner's the rabbit. If he gets aboard, he will certainly give the Dodger infield a bad time. And takes a strike. So, of course, the big object, he's got to get on base. But he has stolen 17 out of 24. He likes to bunt, and with his speed, you can well understand it. Kid from Holly Hill, South Carolina. And he's in the hole now to Kershaw. No balls and 2 strikes. Kershaw is not throwing one of those overpowering games. He's only struck out 2. Clayton has also made 69 pitches. Here's number 70. Ball 1. Kershaw struck out 12 Milwaukee Brewers in April. Struck out 11 Washington Nationals in May. Struck out 10 Rockies in July. Those are the only 3 double-figure strikeout games that he's had this year. 0-1. Big curveball. Strike 3 call. So Gardner, the old deer in the headlights look, frozen on what looks to be high, and then drops right into the zone. 3 strikeouts for Clayton Kershaw. A puzzled Gardner goes back to the dugout. And here's the great Jeter. Grounded to third, grounded to second. In fact, he's a little tired of talking about ground balls. He is 0 for 6 in the 2 games, all ground balls. Fastball, saving catch by Adrian Gonzalez. So the first ball that Jeter hits in the air, Gonzalez takes a hit away from him, and at the end at 5½, no score. Saturday, August 10th, the Dodgers honor the 1995 National League Rookie of the Year, Hideo Nomo bobblehead night. First 50,000 fans in attendance receive their own mini Hideo Nomo bobblehead, celebrating his no-hitter on a rainy night in Colorado in 1996. So visit Dodgers.com/promotion. We move to the bottom of the 6th inning. Clayton Kershaw, Paul Crawford, and then Yasiel Puig. So Kuroda and Kershaw locked in. Kershaw made 6 pitches to finish the Yankees off in the 6th inning. And strike. A lot of times when Kuroda and Kershaw were together, they would play catch, not act like pitchers and throw hard or anything like that. They had great respect and admiration for each other's ability. Nice catch by the ball boy. 0-2. Clayton flied out in the 3rd inning. Fastball foul back. Good fastball, 93. Outside part of the plate. And in the dirt. One and two. Chases it. The out has to be recorded at first. Stewart takes dead aim, and down goes Clayton. We can take a look now around the National League West. We've told you the fact Arizona put it to Tampa, a 7-0 behind Wade Miley. Pitched a 2-hitter and struck out 8. Atlanta ripped Colorado 9-0. Cincinnati, tired of scoring only 1 run, got 4 tonight and held San Diego to 1. And the Giants beat Philadelphia 9-2. Probably the biggest deal today in the National League would be Arizona sending Ian Kennedy to San Diego. I mean, Kennedy, a 20-game winner just a couple of years ago. The same Ian who got involved in that brouhaha with the Dodgers. Anyway, he's in San Diego. Left-hand reliever Joe Thatcher went from San Diego to Arizona. 1 ball, no strikes. Fouled away. No score in the ball game. No runs, 3 hits for the Yankees. No runs, 2 hits for the Dodgers. During the Cincinnati series, there was a definite feeling of playoff. There was definite feeling playoff last night. Dodgers won 3-2. It's the same feeling now. Not a lot of hitting, tremendous pitching, each side waiting to break loose. Of course, Kershaw is accustomed to being in tough games. You know, he's lost 6. The Dodgers have scored a total of 9 runs during those 6 losses. Fly ball slicing down the line, foul. Soriano will run out of real estate. 2-2. No runs, 3 hits. The Yankees have actually had a man get to third. They had first and third with 1 out in the 2nd inning, couldn't score. Dodgers best. They had Schumacher at second with one out in the third. So the pitcher's very much in control. Two and two. And a line drive. Great diving catch by Jeter. So Crawford losing a base hit on that great play by Derek Jeter. Yasiel Puig will be coming up. We told you, if you ever read a pitcher's background or what he has done during the year, you would know it's not a good idea to swing at the first pitch. Kuroda has the opposition hitting less than 220 when they put the first pitch in play. Slider away. 1 ball and no strikes. Now the 1-0 count, he gets hurt, but Puig takes 1-1. Kuroda digging in the follow-through area on the mound. That mound will disappear shortly after the game. Fastball hit in the air but playable. Gardner on the run picks it off. So Puig goes 0 for 3. The reason we say the mound will disappear after the game, as soon as they clear it off, they're going to turn Dodger Stadium ready for soccer. No score. By AT&T, rethink possible. By your Southern California Toyota dealers. And by CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. 7th inning, no score in the ball game. Not really a strong threat. But now the Yankees bring up their numbers 3, 4, and 5 hitters against Clayton, who has made 72 pitches. Robinson Cano, Alfonso Soriano, and then Vernon Wells. Line drive right at Gonzalez. Remember the line drive Jeter hit? Gonzalez went up the ladder to take it away from him. That time it was right at Adrian. And Jeter thinks 0 for 7 in the series. Alfonso Soriano struck out and singled and was promptly picked off. and a strike. 0-1. Off speed, boy, he really jumped on that thing and came up empty. That traveled 73 miles an hour. Breaking ball missed 1 and 2. I've been trying to think since really there's nothing going on except a lot of outs. Something that you might get a kick of. There goes Soriano. In 1963, Game 3 of the 4-game series with the Yankees was played at Dodger Stadium. The Dodgers got a run in the first inning and won that game 1-0. 1 run, 4 hits. The Yankees no runs, 3 hits. The winning pitcher was Don Drysdale, and the loser for the heartbreak was Jim Bouton of the Yankees. After that game, a group of us went to a restaurant owned by a friend of ours to celebrate a bit. And we had Leo DeRocher and a whole bunch of people, maybe 20 of us. And a man came over the table, and he had one of those rubber fright masks on. Looked like some monster. And I remember vividly saying to the fella, "Oh, don't worry, Ralph," meaning Ralph Houk, "you have a shot tomorrow." And everybody laughed. And the guy pulled off the rubber mask. It was Jim Bouton, who had just lost the game 1-0. So there are those who would pout and kick and scream, and there are others who would take it right in stride. And one of them was Jim Bouton. 0-2 the count to Soriano. Curveball. Hanley. Boy, that was close. Whoa. So the Dodgers set him down, and we're heading to the bottom of the 7th inning. No score. Series, but Hiroki Kuroda and Clayton Kershaw are doing their best to make you feel like it is one of them. Kuroda has limited the Dodgers to 2 singles, a base hit by Ethier,
Leading up to the bottom of the 7th for the Dodgers, first baseman number 23,
and then the base hit by A.J. Ellis. Clayton Kershaw has limited the Yankees to 3 hits. Soriano, Wells, and Lillibridge. So bottom of the 7th, Gonzalez, Ramirez, and Ethier. Kershaw has made only 80 pitches in his 7 innings. And a strike. By the way, you know, the Pirates beat the Cardinals again tonight, 5-4. Cardinals have lost 7 straight. Yadier Molina is on the DL with a sprained right knee. Dodgers go to St. Louis later on in August. 1-1. The Pirates, by the way, are now 23 games over 500 entering August. For the first time, they have that record since 1972. Little ground foul, 1-2. So for Clint Hurdle, he has to be on cloud 9. Last couple of years, the Pirates started off well and then collapsed. But it looks like this club has a lot going for it. 23 games over. Gonzalez hitting .297, grounded out, struck out. And foul tip, ball gets away, so he's still there. The only threat, if you want to call a runner a third a threat, that would be the 2nd inning. With 1 out, Wells singled, Lillibridge singled him to 3rd, but then Nix popped up, Stewart hit 4th. One and 2. In the dirt all the way to the backstop. Though the plate umpire C.B. Buckner will retrieve. 2-2 the count to Adrian Gonzalez. If this turns out to be a 1-run game, as we mentioned earlier, Dodgers are 10-4 in 1-run games at home. The Yankees are 8-8 in 1-run games on the road. As a hopper off the glove of the diving Lillibridge, Caron's into shallow right field. Adrian's going to go for 2. He's going to be out from me to you. Adrian had delusions of grandeur. There's no 2 ways about it. He is basically a station-to-station base runner, and he had the play directly in front of him. It was no surprise. Ball's going to carry him back. He thinks Wells can't get there in time, and he's out, as we said, from me to you if you're living anywhere near Dodger Stadium. Great effort by Lillibridge, but it just went off his glove. Gonzalez, a single to right, and he is cut down 9-6. So he chastened Adrian Gonzalez, and now here is Ramirez. And first ball hitting, fouls it away. Whatever magic Kuroda has, he certainly shows it on the first pitch. He's been 0-1 on almost every Dodger hitter. And if you go on the first pitch like Puig, you're out. Made 89 pitches. Look at that. First pitch strike to 18 of 22 hitters. Remarkable. 0-1. Slider. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ramirez grounded out and struck out. And good fastball down at 87. He throws a 2-seamer, which has a tendency to sink. four-seamer rises, but he doesn't throw a four-seamer. Basically the two. And then the fork ball, changeup, and the slider. Fastball just to show it. He hit 94 on the gun, and he's made 92 pitches. Kershaw's made only 80. 2-2. Clayton watching. Hiroki working. Foul tip. Nope. A tag, and that's that. So it was in the dirt. Ramirez strikes out a second time. And we have two down. Remember the Twitter poll and the trades today? The deadline acquisitions. And we said which one would help the team the most. Well, 48%. Jake Peavy going to the Red Sox will help Boston. 38%. Soriano will help the Yankees. And then 14% Bud Norris with the Orioles. The Yankees need a lot of help. They began the day 8.5 games back. Jake Peavy with Boston, they began a half a game behind Tampa Bay. Baltimore began the day 5 games behind Tampa Bay. 2 out, 7th inning, no score. Here's Andre. Single, fly to right. And a flare to center. Gardner has to play it on the hop. So, of course, the Dodgers, 2 hits in the inning. But Gonzalez thrown out trying to go to second. So Ethier will save A.J. Ellis and at bat. And Adrian deep in thought as to what might have been. They're playing a marathon game in Boston. The Red Sox and Seattle are tied 4-4. They're in the bottom of the 15th. And of course, it's 6 minutes past midnight in Boston. A.J. Ellis hit into a double play and singled 1 for 2. Kuroda watching Ethier steal second base last night, which came as a big shock to a lot of people. Turned out to be a huge play. Way out in front, off-speed pitch, 0-1. First thing Ellis said to Buckner, ball or strike? Ball. Okay. Thanks for the information. So again, Kuroda has a first pitch strike, even if it's out of the zone. Fastball hitting to right field. Ethier will hold on. Vernon Wells guns it in to Jeter. So the Dodgers have 3 hits in the inning and nothing to show for it. And the batter will be Skip Schumacher. And Adrian Gonzalez thinking, why did I try to turn a single into a double? The pitch away. AJ keeps his hands inside the ball and just goes the other way. So a nice bit of hitting. Ellis now is 2 for 3. Ethier is 2 for 3. Schumacher walked and struck out. On deck, Juan Uribe. 2 out, 7th inning, no score. Big sellout crowd trying to will the Dodgers onto the scoreboard. Little ground foul, 0-1. No balls and 1 strike on Skip Schumacher. Schu hitting .268. Ethier at second. Ellis at first. Uribe on deck. 0-1. Yep, another first strike. One and one. Mattingly and Trey Hillman trying to shake something loose. Rick Honeycutt sitting back, sipping and watching. One ball and 1 strike. Fastball away. 2-1 to count. 100 pitches for Kuroda. Unfortunately, the Yankee stat sheets do not tell you about pitch count, though I'm not sure where Hiroki is. Two and one. And in the dirt. Nice save by Stewart. So Kuroda goes 3-1. He walked 1, and that was Schumacher back in the 3rd inning. Now 101 pitches. They are now getting up and moving around in the Yankee bullpen. Boone Logan, a left-hander, is first up. So 2 on, 2 out, 3-1 to count to Schumacher. And that's going foul, 3-2. We checked and we find out that Hiroki Kuroda's high in pitch count this year, and it was back in April when he pitched a shutout, 113. In his career with the Dodgers, his high, 118. So he's now made 102 pitches. Larry Rothschild looking on along with Joe Girardi. So 3-2, the runners will be going. And waiting on deck, Juan Uribe. The outfield shaded to left. They give Schumacher pretty much of right center and straightaway right. The runners go, and down goes Schumacher. Seven strikeouts for Hiroki Kuroda. The Dodgers get 3 hits and nothing for it. No score. for the weary. The Dodgers fly out tonight. The Yankees bust down to San Diego, and the Dodgers play in Chicago no matter what time they get there in the morning. Ricky Nolasco will be on the mound for the Dodgers. Chris Rusin on the hill for the Cubs. Ricky, 6-9, has pitched well for the Dodgers. In fact, he has done, sometimes people feel, even better than they expected. He had a no decision last time out against Toronto. So a well-rested Nolasco against Rusin to begin the 4-game series with the Cubs. Clayton Kershaw ready to go to work. No runs, 3 hits for the Yankees. No runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers. And that's popped up. It will be Gonzalez. So Lillibridge pops her up, 1 away. And that'll bring up Jason Nix. MLB TV celebrates 11 years with new low yearly prices. Watch every out-of-market game live on over 350 supported mobile and connected devices in HD quality with MLB.TV Premium. So visit MLB.TV today. Baseball everywhere. 1 out, 8th inning. Kershaw gets a strike. He has gotten everybody since Soriano singled in the 4th inning. So he's retired 11 in a row. Slow breaking ball for a strike. That was only 72 miles an hour. So he is pitching up a storm. And yet no score. In the dirt with the fastball. Derek Jeter has reason to scratch his head. He is 0 for 7. He had 6 ground balls. Finally hit one right on the screws. And Adrian Gonzalez, a leaping one-hand catch to take at least a single, maybe a double away from it. Adrian has made a couple of fine plays defensively. Gambled and failed on an important base hit that he tried to stretch. Dodgers wound up with 3 hits and nothing to show for it. Interesting note on Kershaw. In retiring the last 10 Yankee hitters, has needed only 23 pitches. And that's hit in the air. Crawford should catch it. "12 in a row retired by Clayton. And Chris Stewart coming up. Kershaw, by the way, is due to bat second when the Dodgers hit in the bottom of the 8th. Stewart hit into a force play, fly to center, 0 for 2. And ball 1. Kuroda out on deck. Arizona beat Tampa Bay. Yankees win tonight. They would trail by 7.5. Dodgers win tonight. They would hold on to a 3.5 game lead. Fastball hit up the middle. They played Ramirez in the hole, and Stewart had the whole area up the middle wide open. So Chris 1 for 3, and Kuroda now is walking away. Four hits for the Yankees, but that breaks the string. 12 in a row. Melky Mesa, MESA, will be coming up to bat for Kuroda, who pitched a great game, except he was matched against Kershaw. So Melky Mesa. Melky Mesa is from the Dominican Republic. He was signed by the Yankees back in 2003. Kuroda was brilliant. 5 innings, 8 strikeouts, one walk, no runs. They have themselves a still fine pitcher. Take a look at Melky Mesa. In the minor leagues, he hit as many as 20 home runs. He's also a strikeout hitter. He struck out 129 times twice in the minors. However, made his debut last year. This is only his 8th game. 4 for 12 with a run batted in. He was the MVP in the Florida State League in 2010. Signed by the Yankees. Came up in 12 twice. And now. And ball 1 to Melky Mesa. 6'1", 190. He's 26 years old. Basically an outfielder when he has a chance to play. Stewart, the catcher over there at first base. You don't expect him to do any running, but he has stolen 4 in 4 attempts. So you drop your guard and he'll steal. Ground ball to the hole, base hit. So Mesa finds a hole on the left side. Back-to-back singles with 2 out. And Brett Gardner coming up. How good was Kuroda tonight? Wow. How good has Kuroda been in the month of July? Another wow. Hiroki Kuroda in July allowed 2 earned runs in 33 innings. Came in here 2 earned runs in 26, and he turned in a strong 7. So 2 on, 2 out. Here's Gardner. Struck out twice, grounded out, 0 for 3. Fastball for a strike. It is doubtful that Gardner would try to bunt. The Dodgers play the corners back. Gonzalez very deep at first, and Uribe far away off the bag in line against a left-hand batter. 0-1. And another strike. Crowd now trying to will Clayton Kershaw out of the trouble. 2 on, 2 out. 8th inning, no score. Just off the corner. Here's how close it was. Look at AJ setting right there, but CB wouldn't fall for the framing. 1-2. Big crowd up on its feet. It is a playoff game. In the dirt, runners hold. Bounced a slow curveball. So you have Chris Stewart, the catcher, at second. Melky Mesa at first. 2 out in the 8th, no score. Two and on deck, Derek Jeter. Fouled away. That was a high, hard one at 93. Gardner didn't quite get around on it, but he got enough to stay alive at the plate. Kershaw working his way now close to 100. Two and two. High fly ball to left field. Crawford. No runs, 2 hits, no decision for Hiroki Kuroda. He was magnificent. No score. Sum it up in one word: magnificent. For Hiroki Kuroda, he has struck out 8. Kershaw has struck out 5. Hiroki left after 103 pitches. They've each allowed 5 hits, no runs. So we've been talking about playoff games here, and this one is just like it, or for that matter, if the Yankees and the Dodgers make believe it's a World Series, because that's the way the pitching has been. Now, can each side keep it up? Clayton Kershaw so far has not worked too hard. 97 pitches in 8 innings. The new pitcher for the Yankees, left-hander Boone Logan out of San Antonio, Texas. He went to Sandra Day O'Connor High School. His coach, Craig McMurtry, you may remember Craig, pitched for almost 8 years with the Atlanta Braves. Logan, drafted by the White Sox, made their opening day roster 7 years ago, but it's not been that easy. He is finally hooked on with the Yankees, and he's been with them since 2010. Basically fastball and slider. He's big enough, 6'5", 220. Check swing, 1 ball and no strikes to Juan Uribe. Mark Ellis will come out on deck, and he will bat for Kershaw. Uribe grounded out, flied out, 0 for 2, hitting .259. Ground foul. The Yankees had first and third in the second inning. They had first and second in the eighth. The Dodgers had 3 hits in the seventh inning and failed to score. And ball 2. Dodgers now switch the on-deck hitter. They call Mark Ellis back, and Jerry Hairston will be the hitter for Kershaw. Two and 1. Ball 3. That kind of looked like almost an off-speed slider. I guess he throws that at several speeds. His fastball has been clocked up to 95. And there's a hopper by the diving Jeter. So Uribe opens up with a base hit. That means the Dodgers have had 4 hits in the last 1 inning plus. Still, they have not scored. Now Hairston is called back. Remember, Carl Crawford is filling the on-deck circle. And Clayton Kershaw is now going to come up. So the simple reason for that, Kershaw is a good bunter. Clayton has 6 bunts, 6 sacrifices. So had Uribe not gotten aboard, it was going to be first Mark Ellis, then they decided no Hairston. But now that Uribe singles, why waste a hitter when you have Kershaw, who's such a good bunter? So the Yankees look bunt. Uribe has 2 stolen bases. He's 2 for 2. Kershaw checking to see if the bunt's on with Tim Wallach. Jason Nix in on the grass. Lillibridge ready to push off from first. Clayton gets the bunt down. The only play is to first. 7 sacrifices for Clayton Kershaw. Boy, he had a little backspin on that bunt. It really did look like a poached egg landing on toast. It just hit the grass and kind of stopped. Didn't slide off the toast at all. There's the backspin, as you can see. A wonderful bunt by Clayton Kershaw. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Ronald Belisario and Kenley Jansen. You can figure that out. If the Dodgers fail to score, you would expect Belisario to pitch the 9th. Should the Dodgers score in the 8th, you would then expect Jansen. So here is Crawford, 0 for 3. Crawford in last night's game 0 for 4. So in the little 2-game series, 0 for 7, with a chance now to knock in a run. On deck, Yasiel Puig. 1 ball and no strikes. Fastball at 92, down and in. 1-1 the count. Boone Logan. Off the plate, slider in the dirt, 2-1. Boone Logan 2-2 in his 43rd game. He has walked 6 and he has struck out 38. He was billed as a strike throwing machine in the minor leagues. 2-1. And that's a little low off speed. 3-1 to count. Waiting, Puig. Uribe, pretty good lead, although Jeter is directly behind him. And a high fly ball to left. Soriano was there. Uribe is not going anywhere. And so it's up to Puig to try and pick him up.
Right fielder number 66, Puig.
Larry Rothschild going out to talk to Boone Logan how they want him to pitch Puig. They'll remind him, I'm sure, that Puig likes to go after the first pitch. Puig has flied to center, hit back to the box, and flied to center again. So 0 for 3. In yesterday's game, Puig, remember, doubled in the first inning. Wound up going 1 for 4. So he is 1 for 7, hitting .364. 10 home runs, 23 runs batted in. Puig, in a limited time in the big leagues, 71 hits. And they're going to walk him intentionally to face Adrian Gonzalez. For Puig, this is the second intentional walk. He's received a couple where, you know, they didn't really want to throw him a strike. Now, here's the thing you keep in mind. Girardi is flying into the face of the stats. You walk Puig to get at Gonzalez. Gonzalez, with runners in scoring position and 2 outs, leads the National League. He's batting .457. 16 for 35. He has grounded out, struck out, and singled. Boone Logan has been with the Yankees since 2010. So Adrian, I'm sure, saw him with the Red Sox. Strike. 0-1. Adrian led off the 7th inning. Hit a shot off Lillibridge's glove down the line for a base hit. Tried to make it a double, and Wells threw him out, and that was a huge play because the Dodgers had 2 more hits in the inning and came up empty. Drive to center. Gardner is right there, and that's it. No runs, a leadoff single, and nothing else. And we're heading to the 9th, no score. and including one special visitor taking it all in from the Yankee bullpen. The young man who was honored before the game, Mariano Rivera. They just closed the door, so you can't really see him anymore, but that's he in the chair with 641 career saves. Trevor Hoffman 601, and then Lee Smith 478. Everyone here in town kidding Rivera. Welcome to Los Angeles. Hope you have a great rest. And of course, if Rivera rests, the Yankees never have a lead in the ninth inning. So we will see in this ninth inning, Ronald Belisario will be pitching to a tough trio. Derek Jeter, Robinson Cano, and Alfonso Soriano. No runs, 5 hits for the Yankees. No runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers. Kershaw went a brilliant 8 and has nothing to show for it except lowering his earned run average and also lowering the opposition batting average. Jeter 0 for 3, robbed of a hit, a leaping catch by Adrian Gonzalez of what might have been a double. And ball 1. Derek 0 for 3 tonight, 0 for 4 last night. 1 ball and no strikes. Outfield straight away and deep. That's in there. So Jeter is 0 for 3. Cano is 0 for 3. Soriano is 1 for 3. And inside, ball 2. Ronald Belisario in his 54th game. He's the workhorse. He has a record of 4 and 5. 18 walks, 39 strikeouts. Just as important, more hits allowed than innings pitched. And he's behind now 3-1. So it figured when he was warming up with Jansen, if the score were tied, it would be Ronald. If the Dodgers had a lead, it would have been Kenley. And he walks Jeter. Belisario pitched the 8th inning last night. Retired the side only because Hanley Ramirez made a fine play to get Jeter. So now he walks him.
Second baseman, number 24, Robinson Cano.
Robinson Cano. Eduardo Nunez is now running for Derek Jeter.
Pitch running for the Yankees, number 26, Eduardo Nunez.
So Nunez running for Jeter. The Jeter coming off the DL played. Then the question was, would he play both games here? And the answer obviously was yes. Nunez has stolen 4, but he's also been caught 3 times. So Cano at the plate and Nunez at first. And a strike. Cano checking. Cano hitting .294. Nunez, a 6-footer, but he weighs only about 155 pounds. Stole a lot of bases in the minor leagues. 1-1. No runs, 5 hits for the Yankees. No runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers. The starters pitched so well, neither one deserved to lose. Well, neither one has anything to do with it. Ground ball. There's Ramirez. Not in time at first. Cano hitting left-handed, great speed. Mark Ellis just got into the game, so he was the middleman on the possible double play. Hanley had a little trouble getting the ball out of his glove, and with Cano, you had better not have a little trouble or you lose him. So near and yet so far. So we'll see just how expensive that is. The Dodgers missing the double play. Soriano struck out single, struck out again. When he did get a base hit, he was picked off. Sims coming over to New York from Chicago, hitting .300. 1 out in the 9th, no score. High chopper, Uribe short hops and gets it. Big leaguers, when they charge a ground ball, they vacuum the ball. Uribe might just as well have been Hoover. Glove down, and it just seems like the glove sucks the ball right into the glove. Take another look. Here he comes. Swoosh. Ichiro is now going to come up and bat after Soriano taps out. So Cano at second, and here is Ichiro. Suzuki last night played right field. He was 1 for 3. He had a double. Averaging 217 hits a year for 12 years. They are not going to pitch to him. They will take their chances. There's ball 1. Lillibridge, the first baseman, due up. So Ichiro is given the walk, and in a moment, Lillibridge. Lyle Overbay, who hit a home run last night, is now coming out, and Overbay will bat for Lillibridge. So the managers know each other's moves, and Mattingly assumed I would rather pitch to Overbay than Suzuki. As simple as that. So no surprise that Lyle Overbay will now come up. Overbay homered and went 1 for 4 last night. So the Yankees have 2 on with 2 out. And here comes Don Mattingly. Now that the cards have been played and Overbay is there. He has Paco Rodriguez and J.P. Howell are the left-handers. He wants Paco. So out goes Belisario on a couple of walks. They missed the double play for him. And we'll be right back. Overbay. Overbay started last night's game, homered in the second inning against Zach Greinke, and Paco is asked to get him and shut down the Yankees in the ninth inning. By the way, in the bottom of the ninth, the Dodgers are due to have Hanley Ramirez, Andre Ethier, and A.J. Ellis. So Paco and A.J. a brief meeting, and Rodriguez going up against Lyle Overbay. Overbay was cut loose by the Red Sox. Lyle's agent convinced the Yankees to give him a 3-day tryout. They didn't have any power. They lost A-Rod, and they lost Mark Teixeira, and they also lost Jeter. So they gave Overbay a look, and heck, he's got 12 home runs. 3 of them have come very late in a game like this. 0-1. Overbay, a lot of experience. He's been around a while. Originally signed by the Diamondbacks in 1999. Came up to Arizona in 2001. Check swing. They look, swing, says Bill Miller. 0-2. Slider up and off the plate. Crowd now slowly getting up on its feet. No score, ninth inning. Check swing. Yes, no, no. 1-2. Boy, isn't it true? For the last month, Dodger Stadium, it's the best show in town. And we've got another dandy yet again tonight. 1-2 to Lyle Overbay. And it's going to be hit to center, base hit. Here comes Cano, no chance to get him. And it's the Yankees who take a 1-0 lead. And on a no-ball, 2-strike count, Overbay delivers. Cano, who was able to beat the double play, and that's the big play in the inning. Breaking ball, stroke, base hit, RBI. So Overbay, who homered yesterday, comes up with a huge single here in the ninth inning. That run is charged to Belisario. Now the batter is Jason Nix, who is 0 for 3. And ball one. Mariano Rivera. Well, a lot of people came to honor him. A lot of people missed seeing him last night, but there he is. 641 saves, and they're looking for 642. One ball and no strike. Pull foul upstairs. 1-1. If you look at Mariano Rivera and that famous pitch of his, the cutter, which is basically, you talk about a one-trick pony. It's a one pitch for him. When he pitched in the All-Star game, he made 16 pitches. They were all cutters. That's a strike. 1-2. Mariano was a basically fastball pitcher until playing catch with a teammate from Panama. However he was holding the ball, The fastball started to do tricks. As he said, it's the pitch God has given him. 1-2. Two and two. So Kershaw went 8 brilliant innings, no runs. Kuroda went 7 brilliant innings, no runs. Boone Logan pitched the 8th. Belisario and now Rodriguez in the 9th. 1-0 Yankees. Ichiro at second base. Overbay at first. And ball 3. So the runners go. Suzuki, by the way, with all of his other talents, still runs exceptionally well. He has stolen 15 out of 18. Three and two with 2 out, so they'll be going on the pitch to Nix. Foul back. To repeat, when the Dodgers come up in the 9th inning, Hanley Ramirez, with an 11-game hitting streak, is 0 for 3. He has struck out twice against Kuroda. Andre Ethier is 2 for 3. Single to center and twice to center and fly to right. A.J. Ellis hit into a double play and singled twice. 3 and 2. They're going again. Pull foul outside of third down the line. Yankee had first and third in the second inning and failed to score. They had first and second with 2 out in the 8th and failed. And they have finally broken through here in the 9th. 1-0 New York. Runners go. Another foul ball. Nix followed by the catcher, Chris Stewart. In the Dodger bullpen, Brandon Lee had been warming up. There he is. Derek Jeter out of the game for a pinch runner, now a spectator. This will be the 9th pitch to Jason Nix. And it's popped up. Gonzalez going out. Ellis slanting across. Puig comes in there. Now sooner or later that was going to happen. And 2 runs scored. Mark Ellis was in perfect position. And Yasiel Puig appeared to have knocked it right out of his glove. Take another look. But you can see Ellis has the call, and then they just bump together. So the Yankees get 2 big gifts and lead the Dodgers 3-0. Ellis looking as if to say, where'd you come from? So a big mistake by the rookie right fielder. A rookie over-enthusiastic mistake, but it meant 2 runs. It's 3-0 New York, and we'll be back. Upset, went out on the field during the change of pitcher to talk to Bill Miller. Bill Miller had a couple of tough calls on check swings. One he called a strike, one he did not call a strike, and that's the one that got Mattingly ticked off. But that's a while ago. Brandon League now coming in. Chris Stewart, the catcher, hit into a force play, fly to center, single to center. They put up an error. We never did hear from the scorer. You could see Puig had pretty much run into Mark Ellis, but we have not really had a disposition of the error. We don't want to know the disposition of the Dodgers right now. 3-0 New York. CC Sabathia now comes out on deck to pinch hit. 2 out at the strike. So the fly ball to right field that should have been caught by Mark Ellis might have been caught by Yasiel Puig. They're going to give Ellis the error because he had his glove on it. He might have been brushed by or just distracted by Puig. But however, Mark, who handles pop flies all the time, Puig appears chastened, and Andre Ethier went over and Puig was saying or looking at Ethier as if to say, what happened? Why did that happen? Ground ball to Uribe. All right. So the Yankees get 3. And the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 9th with the Yankees leading 3-0 and Mr. Mariano Rivera. Amidst all of the frustration is they will get a chance to see Mariano Rivera. Mariano, 6'2", 190. He's had 19 years in the big leagues. He has 641 saves. He's been a closer since 1997. He certainly helped the Yankees win 4 World Series in 5 years. This year, Rivera, even at his tender age, has a brilliant earned run average of 1.64. He also has 33 saves. The cutter, which is a fastball that breaks, they say that his cutter breaks about 8 inches. It's a remarkable pitch. Basically, it's the only pitch he throws now, and even though they know it's coming, they can't handle it. If you look at his important numbers, besides the wins and the loss. He has walked 7 and he has struck out 36. He is allowed to hit an inning, and Hanley Ramirez to start. Strike. 0-1. Right-hand batters in their career against Rivera, they're hitting .215. Left-hand batters in the career hitting .209. 0-2 to Hanley. In the last 15 years, Mariano Rivera has blown back-to-back saves 10 times in 15 years. And he's even tougher in the postseason. Ball 1. In the postseason, Mariano Rivera has converted 42 of 47 opportunities, and his earned run average in the postseason is 0.7. Fouled away. The New York Times did a study years ago, and they said in 2001, Mariano Rivera broke 44 bats. So with that in mind, when he made his farewell appearance in Minnesota, they presented him with a rocking chair made up of broken bats. Hit foul, out of play. Before the game, Mariano, very much a worthwhile human being beside a baseball player, received a marvelous deep-sea fishing rod. His dad was a sardine fisherman in Panama. He'd go out with him and spend all day out on the sea in the broiling sun, and some days catch nothing. And now he would love to fish in his retirement. And down goes Hanley, chasing a bad ball. So he really helped out, and down goes Ramirez. Mark Ellis, no doubt, still smarting over the error. Dodgers had some dramatic walk-offs. They've had 2 straight. In fact, the Dodger record 3 straight back in 2010. Mark Ellis last night got the base hit. The game before, in the 11th inning, Puig hit the home run. Now here's Ethier. That's the cutter. 0-1. Ethier kind of looks over to the dugout as if say, oh, now I know. They have a relatively new stat. They combine walks and hits and innings pitched. They call it WHIP. W-H-I-P. The most phenomenal modern day WHIP belongs to Mariano Rivera. It's 1. You have to go back to pitchers Addie Joss and Ed Walsh, and they pitched in the early 1900s, the dead ball. So WHIP is more like flog when it comes to Rivera and the opposition. 0-2. Got it. Ethier looks at Sabathia, looks over at CB. So Rivera comes in and doesn't disappoint unless you're a hitter. Mark Ellis had the base hit last night, and of course last night he was a hero. Tonight, of course, they was already 1-0 in favor of the Yankees in the pop fly when Puig and Ellis had problem with it, and the Yankees got 2 extra runs. So here's A.J. Ellis, and ball 1. Mariano Rivera is such a worthwhile human being. He's made a lot of money in baseball, but he has given it back. That's a strike. He built a church in his small town in Panama. He built a church in New Rochelle, New York. His wife Clara is going to be the pastor. He also spent $3 million to buy an old church in New York. He's going to refurnish and bring that to life. And he takes the life right out of the Dodgers, getting 2 strikeouts and a routine ground ball. This crowd tonight, 53,013. That would be the 16th sellout as the Dodgers go down. For Mariano Rivera, he made 12 pitches. So the Yankees get a split. They'll now take the bus and go down to San Diego. Dodgers will take off here. And let's see, it's 10 after. They would be lucky if they take off at 12:30. 12:30 is 2:30 Chicago time. So it's going to be a very early morning arrival for the Dodgers in Chicago. And they play tomorrow against the Cubs. Well, stay tuned for Dodgers Live. It's coming up next. Good night, everybody.